most likely we do all have websites or work for an organization that has a website, and we usually try to make it better, right? We usually look at that, we try to update it, we try to keep it an updated information, and that's a hassle too. Like we need someone to help us usually. Okay, there are content management systems that like WordPress, for instance, or different alternatives, Squarespace, Wix, maybe Shopify if you are running an online store. These tools help you run a website slightly easier than normally in normal conditions, whereas where you needed to work with a developer to change anything on the website. So I should admit that things are getting easier in that sense. But on the other hand, website is still something which is not clearly understood. And especially when I see the websites in the cultural industry, then I see that we need to talk about this. We need to put this chapter in the very beginning of our course, because we probably need to discuss one more time. Why do we have a website? What's the purpose of the website, right? Because we probably create at the time that everybody was doing it, and then we saw it as a part of the maybe brand identity or something. But why do we create a website? Why do we have the website in the first place? Let's say we are a museum and we created the website. Why we did that? Why we even needed it? And then we need to centralize this why. Of course, if that's logical, right? We need to discuss it. We need to make sure that it makes sense. Then we need to make the website according to that why. So when I talk about why, of course, I'm talking about an action that we want the user to take when they are on our website. If we don't want them to do something, then why did we even make the website? So websites do need a purpose, a purposeful action that we want from the end users. Ideally, of course. There can be some businesses that does not maybe need this purposeful action. Maybe they are just there to to be visible for different reasons. But usually, if this is a business that makes money, we need people to take steps towards that money or towards that action that keeps the business alive. And that's the purpose of website. If for a museum, it should most likely be booking a ticket, right? Or it should most likely be how and why do I visit this museum? Because I have many options on my calendar. Or museum should care maybe about fundraising and collecting donations. So it could be different purposes. But then the website should communicate all these purposes really, really well. So let's look at some websites. I don't know them. I just randomly typed some museum types of keywords. Then I ended up in these 3 or 4 companies. Um, so all I am just using their website as an example. I don't want to offend anyone, and I don't see something absolutely wrong as well. But during this training, I will bring a lot of websites from cultural enterprises, and then we will review them, how they are structured and why they are doing wrong things more than the right things, so to say. Let's talk about this museum. I think this is a museum in London, and we see some nice information about stuff. So it's motivating, of course, the free entry, and then plan your visit and so on. And then there is some headline, sub-headline, and then a button. This is a great example of a call to action. So this is called call to action. In the next lesson, we will go deeper into call to action. But now from structure-wise, from the website structure-wise, this website wants you to see this thing, whatever that is, and then book the ticket to that. So things look good here, right? It's clear what they want you to do. And then you could scroll down, probably get more information about other things. And then we have other call to actions. Newsletter, donation, all done well. They clearly guide you on what you should be doing next. This is so important for the users. Like, what should I do? I should book a ticket, I should subscribe to the newsletter, or I should donate. That's really good. Let's check another one. This is where I am located at the moment, in Köln, and then I came to this website. A lot of things are happening around. It is missing one element that we liked in the previous example, which was this very much nicely, clearly centered call to action. In most websites, depends on what the website owner's business, whatever, wants you to know, there should be a clear definition of what this is and why you should choose this, and then a call to action. Let's check a good example from software industry. HubSpot is one of the leading software companies with billions of dollars of valuation and revenue. So nowhere to compare, of course. This website probably received, I don't know how many thousands of changes, even in the last 3-4 months probably. But I just want to show my point on. This is what it is. This is what you can do with that, or what should motivate you to choose them. This is backing up that claim at the top. And then clear call to actions. Most cultural enterprises have almost doesn't have any of them almost. I go to the website, I don't understand if this is a museum or cinema, or museum that has cinema, or an institution which makes regular events or just once a year. Because I'm out of the industry, right? I really don't know what this museum does, for example. So I think they have the English version. This is the very first time I'm visiting this website. Again, there is a call to action. Probably this is important for them. I guess they are inviting to their program, which is good. And then as we scroll down, there is some headline, and then another call to action like learn more, and then the ticket shop and buy tickets. When I go to here, then again, it makes my life, I think, easy. I can buy ticket today with one click, so probably then things are flowing really fast. That was an okay experience, right? That wasn't a bad experience. And let's try the same one here. I want to buy a ticket here. I clicked one. I think this is my 4th click. Tickets. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Maybe this would have just come in the very beginning. Before I choose like all 4 things. Maybe I could just start process from there. That would eliminate 3-4 steps. And then I click. Now I have all this long form to fill. I don't know if all of them are mandatory, but these forms are scary and they kind of push users back. There are a lot of these type of tips and tricks, so to say, which we usually call, first of all, this is simply principles of a website, right? Like it has a purpose, and then the steps through the website follows that purpose. So we motivate users for the actions that we want them to take. This is another nice example of a company called Shopify, another public company, which is nowhere to compare with ourselves, but just to understand what they are trying to do. There is a headline, there is a sub-headline. In this kind of structure, the headline's purpose is usually making you read the sub-headline. Because, again, users spend so small amount of time on their devices. When I'm checking this website, probably maybe I'm on my mobile, I'm on a tram, and maybe there is just one stop to my stop that I will go out of tram. That means I maybe have like 2-3 seconds to see this thing. And then I'll forget, right? It's not like people come and sit and study our website. Just like us, visitors also have limited amount of time, and they try to do a lot of things at the same time. So things need to be really clear. And when we ask their attention, we gotta ask it slowly. We can't ask them, and hey, I have a copy of 10 paragraphs. Now you come and read this in my museum homepage to understand when you can actually come. This shouldn't happen, right? It should be easier. It should be like you take my attention first time with one headline, which what Shopify did here, making commerce better for everyone. What does that even mean? That means Shopify is supporting the next generation of entrepreneurs, the world's biggest brands, everything in between. If you understand what Shopify does, then maybe you could start a free trial, or probably they want you to watch the story, which they kind of centered in the page. So it's very clear what they want you to do. And then you follow those steps. That was a good example of that. In the next session, we will talk more about user behavior and conversion rate optimization. But now we only focused on website structure. We have a goal. We usually have a headline. People will read headline, hopefully. And then headline will motivate them to read the subheadline, and then they will hopefully have a couple of alternatives to commit to your website in a way like, again, if we think about the cultural enterprises, maybe let's say a cinema theater, right? And it could be view our program, book the ticket. So there could be 2 call to actions. And then you click the view program, the programs comes in, and then each of every program I could just book the ticket with 1 click, which would be an absolutely nice user experience. I'm not saying change your websites fully or redesign your websites, but look at your website with this eye and imagine the people who are engaging first time with that website. Do they understand what you do? And is it clear what you offer to them? And is it clear what you want them to do? So, and then maybe small readjustments, and see you in the next chapter.